Welcome to Arabic Today. I'm your host Fouad Demman, coming to you from Algiers, capital city of Algeria. الدرس الرابع عشر أصول الكلمات. Lesson 14. The origins of words. When learning a language, it is often difficult to remember the meaning of a new word. But words have origins, and knowing the origins of a word can help you guess at its meaning. Let's begin with an illustrative example. Do you remember the verb darasa? From it, we can create a new verb, darasa, and two nouns, dars and madrasa. Notice that the four words have in common the letters del, ra, sin, which appear in the same order. Now let's focus on the word madrasa. From it, we can create a new verb, tamadrasa, and a new noun, madrasi. Here again, the three words have in common the letters mim, del, ra, sin, which appear in the same order. Formally, the common letters are called the root letters, al-huruf al-asliya, and the process of creating new words from another word using the ordered sequence of its root letters is called derivation, ishtiqaq. This illustrative example helped us to have a glimpse at how Arabic words are created. Indeed, in Arabic, most words are formed by derivation, ishtiqaq. New nouns and verbs can be derived from other nouns and verbs which have related meanings. Derivations from a verb or a noun are made according to predefined patterns, by using the ordered sequence of the root letters. Technically, a derivational pattern is a set of predefined letters called augments that are affixed to or intercalate with the root letters of the verb being derived. Let's see in more detail how it works. First, we will study the process of deriving from a verb. From a given verb, we can derive 9 common forms of verbs and 10 forms of nouns. Notice the augments in red color and how they intercalate with the root letters in black. Let's begin with the verb patterns. Each verb pattern indicates a meaning associated with the general meaning of the root. These meanings include, among others, intensiveness, increase, transitivity, reciprocity, reflexivity. The noun patterns indicate either a grammatical function, such as adjective and passive participle, or a semantic role, such as noun of instrument and noun of place. It is worth noting that the derivational tree proposed concerns only triliteral strong verbs. Indeed, non-triliteral and weak verbs use different patterns. In theory, all patterns are eligible. In practice, only a few are valid. For example, intransitive verbs do not admit a passive participle or a noun of instrument. There may be several patterns for a given grammatical function or semantic role. For example, we can have more than 10 patterns for the adjective or the verbal noun. Using the same logic, noun different patterns can also be derived from the 9 derived verb forms. To better understand how the model works, I suggest to study the derivational tree of the transitive verb qabada. قبض has several meanings which all revolve around the idea of grasping or holding in one's grip, and by extension, the accompanying movement of the clenched hand, which is contraction and shrinking. Moreover, these meanings may be in the literal or the figurative sense. Note that not all patterns are valid. Let's focus on the derived verb patterns. For instance, the second derived verb form, قبض, expresses the transitive meaning of making somebody grasp something, for example, money. In the figurative sense, قبض expresses the meaning of pain or anxiety causing the face to contract. The seventh derived verb form in قبض expresses the reflexive meaning of self-contraction. For example, a muscle that is منقبض, here I'm using the active participle, literally means self-contracted. By extension, in the figurative sense, it means a person who is dejected or oppressed. Now we focus on the derived noun patterns. The active participle قابض can mean a clutch or a tax collector. Both nouns carry the two general meanings of contraction and grasping, in this case money. قباضة is the intensive adjective. Similarly to English, Arabic adjectives may serve as substantives. قباضة means tax office, and the word carries the meaning of grasping money extensively. The second example of a verb-based derivation considers the intransitive verb صغر, which literally means to become small. In the figurative sense, it means to become base or mean. Note that not all patterns are valid. Here again, the second derived verb pattern, صغر, expresses the transitive meaning of making the size of something smaller. In the figurative, it means a base in a person. Note that certain patterns are used only in the figurative sense, as is the case with the active participle صاغر, a man who accepts to be abased. It is good to know that the rules that govern the verb-based derivational model are not rigid. Many exceptions to the model exist. To an Arab linguist, deriving a word from another is not a dry process, which can be automated. There is a great deal of feeling which intervenes. This Arabic spirit in forming and using words comes only by long practice. From a learner perspective, knowing the model can help recognize the root letters of a word and hence guess at its meaning. Now let's see how we proceed when we derive from a noun. The verbs that can be derived from a noun use the 9 common patterns we have seen in the verb-based derivation. There are more patterns using 4 and 5 root letters, but we will not see them in this lesson. As to the noun patterns, they are different from those derived from a verb. Let's see what they look like using 2 examples. The first noun to be derived is زهر, which is the collective for flowers. From this noun, we can derive 2 verbs, أزهر and إزهر, which both mean to blossom. The form إزهر carries an additional meaning of intensiveness. From the derived verbs, we can derive nouns using the patterns of the verb-based derivational model seen earlier. In this example, we have derived the verbal noun إزهار and the active participle مزهر. Now we come to the original part of the noun-based derivation. As you can see, the noun patterns used here are different. First, the relative noun is obtained by adding the letter ya with shadda to the noun being derived, zahri. In the feminine, we also add ta marbuta, zahriya. The noun of individuality is formed by adding ta marbuta, zahra. The diminutive noun interpolates the letter ya in the middle or the end of the noun and adds ta marbuta if the noun is in the feminine, zuhayra. The noun of vessel generally uses the same pattern as the noun of instrument. In this example, however, it did not, which confirms what we said earlier about the derivation process not being a rigid one. The second example of noun-based derivation uses the noun suf, which literally means wool. The relative noun sufi means woolen, but also means a follower of Sufism, an Islamic mysticism. Sufis are so called because they used to wear a rough woolen dress to show their ascetic lifestyle. Hence, the abstract noun of Sufiya, Sufism. The abstract noun is obtained by the feminine of the relative noun. Some English equivalents to these nouns generally end with the suffixes ism and t, like nationalism and humanity. In addition to the derivational models, there are other methods to create new words. Instead of patterns, these methods use compounding, blending, and borrowing from other languages. These types of derivations are frequently used by modern linguists to translate technical and scientific terms. Time to summarize. And that was all for this lesson. As always, I hope you found it helpful. Happy studies!